last week, these two residents, they just moved in May, and she came up to me and she said, "You have made it worth being here. Thank you for what you do." And that that just like gives me so much. I'm just so grateful that I can add that element to these people's lives. There's also she's since passed. Her name was Beth, and she was in her late 90s, and she was in the chorus at Pacific Regent, and she went in and out of the hospital. She had respiratory issues, but she would always rally, and she would always come back to the chorus. And she once said, "I think," she had this raspy voice, "I think you're the only reason why I'm staying alive. I want to get back to the chorus." And I think there's something to that. I think giving people something that they can enjoy in the moment, where not only is there no judgment, but there is just great celebration. It gives them a reason to be. And I so appreciate it because in life, it's not very common to have an experience where you are exactly in the moment. And when I'm with these seniors, when I'm playing and singing with them, I'm exactly in that moment. I'm not thinking about where I was before or where I'm going to go. I am exactly there. And there is never any place I would rather be than right there playing those songs, singing with and for these people. My name is Eric Lane Barnes, and I am the Director of Music at East Shore Unitarian Church, where we are right now. I'm also a composer and a lyricist and a playwright. I also provide music for numerous senior communities around the Seattle area, and I have a quartet. I am a fourth of Princess Guy, who is Seattle's most fabulous vocal quartet. I also present music appreciation classes at various senior facilities. And basically, if something comes my way that looks interesting and creative, I will throw myself into it. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. When I was in college, I worked in a couple of, then they were called nursing homes, and I worked as a nurse's aide. And I did that because it was easy to get hired at these places. I didn't have a skill set when I was in college. And I just found that there was a real need for seniors in these places to have just basic human connection. Even though there were a lot of nurses, the nurses were basically there just to provide their medical needs, give them the right medications and stuff. But these residents, they needed someone to be with them and to remind them that they were human. And then I moved to Seattle in the beginning of 2000 to work with Seattle Men's Chorus, and then we formed Seattle Women's Chorus, and I held that job for 17 years. I left that job and struck out on my own and started playing piano for an Aegis facility, AEGIS, on Queen Anne. They wanted someone to play piano. So I just found that I would sit at the piano and play, and the residents were just like, "Oh, wow." It could be that I like the music that appeals to an older generation. I've always loved songs from the 30s and 40s and 50s. But I found that I have some kind of easy rapport with seniors. And so the first couple of weeks I just played, and then I started singing, and then I started providing sing-along sheets, and then we all started singing. And before you know it, it was just like this mass of people in the living room every time I went to play. And I loved it. It felt like I was being a part of a real vital part of their lives, that they would wait for these, like for days. They were just so eager to experience music and to experience joining together with each other and someone that was paying attention to them, and not just here's your medication and bye. About a couple months after that, I answered an ad for Pacific Regent in Bellevue, here in Bellevue. They were looking for a chorus director. And so I went and had an audition for them, and they've told me since that they knew from the minute I walked in that they wanted to hire me. So I led them through some warm-ups and taught them the song and everything. And I've been there for 7 years now. I've done 2 shows a year at Pacific Regent. And a couple years ago, I joined Skyline on First Hill here in Seattle, and I do the same thing. They've had a chorale for many years. And what I love about that specific work is, and I say this, I treat the seniors as if they matter, because they do matter. And I say as if because so many people in their lives treat them as if they don't matter, as if their lives before were the lives that mattered, and now they're just in a treading water pattern, or circling the airport. And I feel it's important to meet them on exactly where they are, the level exactly where they are, and by sharing music with them, it's a very clear indication where you are today, right now, right here, you matter.